So, Leica, this is my personal experience as a working photographer. On any given day working as a commercial photographer, I can have a huge bag with two camera bodies, multiple lenses, lights, audio equipment, grip equipment, tripods, you name it. It's a lot of stuff to carry around, and you don't really want to touch this stuff when you're not working. It kind of becomes a separate tool. I guess like a plumber probably doesn't want to come home and fix pipes. And that's personally for me where Leica comes in. The small form factor of these cameras, the physical, tactile nature of them, the fact that they feel nothing like my work camera, makes them just perfect for everyday carry. They come with me everywhere. Depending on the jacket I'm wearing, they can fit in a pocket or just slung over my shoulder on a strap. I have two. I have a Leica M4, which was my first Leica. I bought this about 5 years ago and haven't looked back yet. I'm not shooting as much as I used to because I just don't have as much time. My cat is over here clawing on the furniture. I don't have as much time as I used to. I'm running my own business. I'm on set, once or twice a week with all the editing on top of it. So the time that it takes to develop film, it's just not really there anymore, unfortunately. Because of that, I bought myself this little baby. So this is my Leica M10. I carry this with me every day. When I'm going on a shoot, it's around my body. If I'm going through the airport, it's around my body. It's never in a bag. It's kind of, I don't want to be one of those people that speaks about slowing me down and taking time to savor the moment, because my personal work is quite reactionary. I can just pick it up and boom, shot's done, it's taken. And there's no kind of messing around focusing, everything between 5 meters and 1.5 meters is going to be a focus. You can push that out to infinity also. I'm not going to talk about the lenses or the Leica look or anything like that. For me, it's all kind of crap, it's all bullshit. You can get any look out of any camera, in my opinion, if you know what you're doing. It feels like an extension of my eyes. It feels like an extension of me rather than a tool. Now, why would I use my Canon cameras instead of a Leica? I'm never going to use a Leica for professional work. It doesn't make sense. The sensors aren't the best. The glass isn't as good as Canon RF glass. That's got to be controversial. Some people aren't going to like it, but it's true. This Canon 2040-70 covers the entire focal range most photographers will ever need. I kind of augment that with a 16-35, and it does the majority of my work. Those two lenses get me through everything day to day. They've made me a lot of money. These cameras are reliable. The autofocus is quick. The files are great. The colors are consistent. They're fast. When I'm working with brands, time is money. You cram a lot of stuff into one day, and I need a camera that lets me shoot fast and just get the job done. They're versatile. I can swap between photo and video seamlessly, especially on this new R6 Mark II that I'm filming on. This original R6, not as good, but still decent. Unless you can really brand yourself and mark yourself as one of these kind of cool photographers, your client expects you to show up with a DSLR style camera, a big camera. It's an added step of comfort for them. Leica is about being in the moment, personal work, having it always with you. Whereas the Canon is a professional workhorse. It's never going to come with me on a trip with my girlfriend. It's never going to come with me on holidays. It's never going to come with me when I go to buy groceries. It's too big. It's a tool. It stays in its case when I'm not using it. And here's the thing. When you work as a professional photographer, it's easy to get caught up in just creating work for a client. You're constantly thinking about what will sell, what fits your brand, what's on trend, and that's great. But if you're not careful, you stop shooting for yourself. And why should you invest in personal work? When you're shooting for yourself, you start to notice patterns, you develop a style, you find things that draw you in, and eventually that becomes part of your own aesthetic and your own style. And it becomes your signature. But it's very hard to develop this if you're just working on client projects, because, like it or not, as a commercial photographer, you have to fulfill a brief. You're never going to always have free reign when you're working on a commercial set. The client has a specific look that they want to achieve, and you need to make that happen. You're a problem solver. It's different for your own personal art, but when somebody's paying you money to be there, you've got to get the end product right. And being comfortable with your cameras, being comfortable seeing things quickly, bringing your vision to life, that's all trained by working on personal projects. So does that mean Leica isn't good for professional work? Not at all. And Canon isn't just a soulless workhorse. For me, Leica is for inspiration. It helps me refine my eye, stay creative, and it's just always there for me. It's always on my shoulder. It feels like a natural extension of my body. I feel like I've said that, but you know, my girlfriend can't walk on my left hand side because my camera just keeps bumping into her elbow. So she's kind of like learned to walk on my right. Canon, for me, Canon is really just for execution. It's for getting the job done. You know, you got to nail it first go. You go for Canon, you know. And sometimes I'll sneak a Leica onto a professional job. I did this recently with Guinness. I did it for a company called Grafter House, where I kind of shot some more candid behind the scenes shots with my Leica, you know, in the downtime, and they end up being used for the campaign. Sometimes I'll use Canon for personal work, you know. Anything that's a slightly bit more technical, I will shoot Canon. A lot of times, if I decide to shoot a landscape, long exposures, any video work, I shoot on Canon. It's not about what's better, it's about what serves that specific moment best. So that's why I shoot Leica for my personal work and Canon for my professional work. If you're a photographer, I'd like to know what camera you use and why, in what situations, how do you balance it, and more importantly, do you really make time for your own personal work? Drop a comment, let's chat. If you found this interesting, do all the usual stuff down below, like, subscribe, share with your friends, give me hate in the comments, I don't care, whatever. But yeah, nice one. If you want to hear more, I kind of want to talk about my commercial work, what I do as a living. I'm a commercial lifestyle hospitality photographer. I mostly work with luxury hotels, member spaces, drinks brands, things like that. So yeah, cool. Let me know.